Okay, are you ready for value? We are going to play Dimensional Ripper for 10 mana, summon 2 copies of a big threat from our deck, and we're going to win the game. No, that is not what I was hoping for. 2 birds. That's not going to win us the game. Clearly Albatross is OP, and we concede out of shame. Okay, what deck are we playing today? Don't let that earlier clip put you off. We are playing tbranson1's Recruit Warrior. Now, there is a Hearthstone page that's in the video description, and I think you should really check that out because there's a nice little guide there on playing the deck, the minion choices, strategy, that kind of thing. So worth a read for sure. Now, I've been waiting for some time to try and find what I consider to be a viable Recruit Warrior deck. And I think this deck right here is the right deck for me, or rather I feel very comfortable playing it. So the basic strategy is to cheat out big threats. Play Gather Your Party and put down a Mountain Giant, or put down, I don't know, the Lich King onto the board. And perhaps that carries you towards winning the game if your opponent does not have a response. But what about Yashraj if you get him onto the board through Gather Your Party and he starts summoning one big threat after another? Surely that's a win. So you can end games quite quickly with this deck. There are a number of different board clears. There's Brawl, there is Plague of Wrath, Bladestorm, Warpath, and I love the inclusion of Cleave, which can help tidy up the board against very aggressive opponents early on. Some people would probably compare this deck to Big Priest and say, well, how are you different to Big Priest? Big Priest cheats out big threats too. Yes, it does. But there are a couple of big differences. Gather Your Party, it will put down a full copy of the minion. Whereas Big Priest on turn 6, I think is it Shadow Essence that they have, puts down a 5/5 copy. So the minion that we put down is superior because it's the full threat, the full attack and the full health. Where Big Priest is better though is it has the resurrection effects, and I think that makes Big Priest a little bit more unfair than this deck because Big Priest can just keep on resurrecting one threat after another again and again and again, or a whole series of threats again and again, whereas with our deck, once the minions are down on the board and once they die, that's it. So you can run out of resources reasonably quickly actually if your opponent has a series of board clears. So you do need to be careful with your resource management if you're going up against a control style deck. Something that's worth keeping in mind. But we're going to look at this deck in action now on the Wild Mode ladder. 3 different games and 3 very interesting games. I had a lot of fun playing this deck and I hope you guys get a lot of enjoyment watching these games. So let's start out against a warlock. Kargath Prime. When it attacks and kills a minion, gain 10 armor. Absolutely amazing. If you can get this onto the board against an aggressive opponent, assuming you're not dead by that point, if they play low attack, low health minions, and then you start throwing that 10-10 into those minions, you just start getting 10 armor each time. It's insane. There it is, 10 armor. So, we're just waiting for Dimensional Ripper. Oh, sure. Twisting Nether. Of course. That's your board clear gone. Ha! 2 12/12s. Yeah, that's insane. Absolutely insane. And we have forced him here to play Gul'dan. Perhaps sooner than he would like. All he gets back are the Void Lord and 3 Void Walkers, but that's it. Nothing else. No Mal'Ganis, no other demons, just this. Now, I really want to connect with his face. So, I am going to utilise a number of different resources here to fully clear his board. This is a big commitment, but it's worth it. "24 damage to his face, that's gotta hurt. And we have the other Dimensional Ripper in hand. He's seen me play it once, he won't be expecting a second copy. So he's played Gul'dan. Does he have N'Zoth? Because I'm assuming this is a Reno lock. Or does he have Reno, for that matter? Although Reno's not going to really help him that much. Because if he plays Reno, we just go 24 to the face. Again.
I ain't talking.
Oh. Bad call.
Unity, precision, perfection.
He knows I'm a recruit warrior, or a big warrior, and he plays Dirty Rat. Wow. Obviously not heeding the risk of putting a massive threat out onto the board. Oh, we get Rush. And that... yeah, that's lethal. And he's not happy. Okay, our next game is against a priest. And take note of our opponent's name. We are going up against God. Just let that sink in for a second. We're facing God. So, clearly, this is going to be an auto loss. Because it's God. I mean, how do we win, right? God is OP. How do we beat God? Now, gather your party may help a little bit. And God is pretty so generous here. He's healing our face. We should thank him. So, if God were to play a Hearthstone deck, what deck would God play? Here is the question. Can you guess? Can you guess? I mean, the name of this player is God. He's a priest, which makes sense. So it's the wild mode ladder. Surely there is only one kind of deck that a priest called God would be playing.
Free of that blasted tower.
Yeah. Free of that blasted tower. But no behold for you. Yeah. This looks like Big Priest. I mean, it could be Reno Priest. Could be Reno Priest. But, come on. Who are we kidding? Cart Up Defender. Could still be Reno Priest, actually. But he just threw a Vargoth out there. For no reason. If this was a Reno Priest with Vargoth, he wouldn't throw it out there for no reason, surely. Master Spell could still be Reno Priest. And I found that play to be really strange. He could have guaranteed Shadow Word Death on the 7/7, but he played Master Spell. I think that was a mistake.
fist has no value. Do your worst.
Now, unfortunately, we have to use an execute here. Because we have to remove Vargoth. We don't want Vargoth left on the board unattended. We have to get rid of it. Okay, God, what have you got for us? How are you going to respond to this? We've seen Master Spell, which is good. So we will get the we will get Kargath Prime shuffled into our deck without too much of a problem. It won't be silenced.
No walls can hold me.
Okay.
Alright, who's thirsty?
Sound Hoof Waterbearer. Do you know what this looks like?
I have more to give.
This looks like a standard Resurrection Priest. He's playing standard cards.
Blood. It's our flag. Time to feast.
Who plays a Water Bearer in the wild? Honestly. He's playing a standard deck. Oh, gets the Vargoth. If he'd got the Water Bearer instead of the Vargoth, we'd be a lot happier. So this is quite a worrying board, clearly.
Time to feast.
And I'm not entirely sure how to deal with it.
I see lunch now. Dinner.
Okay, that's actually interesting. We give him a 1/4.
Punch first.
I'd have liked to have played that from hand with the battle cry, to be honest. But anyway, the good news is we're giving him a 1/4 that hopefully is going to die soon and he'll start resurrecting it.
Alright, who's
The bad news is this board is still pretty significant. There are taunts in the way. Okay, trades. And there's a lot of damage coming to our face here. Wow, what a top deck. And I think we have no choice here. I think we have to brawl. Huh. And the 1/4 survives.
tombs?
Fascinating. It's in situations like this where I wonder if a second brawl would be useful in this deck. Not just against Rez Priest or Big Priest, but against aggro decks too. Okay. That was a massive commitment of resources there from us, but I wanted to kill off that 1/4 urgently. That was the rationale.
This might hurt.
I want the 1/4 in the res pool, because he's playing his standard deck, but there will be another resurrection spell coming shortly, and I want to increase the chances of him bringing back the 1/4. Batterhead, if it gets buffed up, could be a problem, but I don't think he has a way of doing that. Because there is the quest variant
The end
of this deck
Let me show you.
that can start buffing minions, and he brings back the 1/4.
Greetings.
Oh, greetings.
I will crush you.
God
Well played.
is greeting us. We should be more polite, surely. Alright,
I will crush you.
one more emote for good measure against God.
I wonder.
So, what do we do here? The board itself isn't terribly threatening. So,
Warriors of the frozen.
is there a chance? Is there a chance that the Lich King will survive into another turn? Because we want to get a couple more cards off of the Lich King. Okay, clearly not. Still, slow turn for him. He didn't develop anything new. I developed 12-12 to contest Bat Ahead. That's the thinking there. Oh, God. Every answer.
Our home. Tombs. I will crush you.
The light shall
Oh,
burn.
God. We're being threatened by God here. Okay, what do we get? Oh, wow.
Embrace your rage.
That's really, really good. And that is even better. 12 health taunt, protecting our face. He's used a lot of removal already. Holding over for 3. Is he going to get through it?
Our tombs.
Is that all you've got? Interesting.
Greetings.
And
Greetings.
because it's a Rez Priest called God, we have to emote back. Yashraj is not going anywhere.
I wonder.
Mountain Giant, play it while we can. AoE gets through the taunt. Now the question is, do we go face or do we trade?
I taste.
I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, not taking any chances.
I will have my vengeance.
There's the Prime. So, let's play a standard deck.
You have been.
So I assume there's no Psychic Scream or Spellstone.
Astonish you.
Oh, we got a well played from God. That makes us very happy.
Versus
Alright, let's look at a final game.
This ends now. Victory or death.
So, gather your party. In hand. Makes us happy. I'm going to keep Warpath, because I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of aggression coming our way in this game. Cleave, wonderful pickup. So, looking at this opening hand, I'm really happy with it. I think this will allow us to contest some early minions that he throws down. Okay. Not what we wanted to see there. We would have liked to have seen the second Gather Your Party. If I could just get the deck tracker working here. Seems to have gone offline.
those without eyes truly see.
You can see part of it. You can see the timers, but not the deck. no matter. Efficient removal. We're just counting down, really, to turn 6. In that sense, we feel like a big priest, right? They count down to turn 6 for Shadow Essence. We're counting down to play Gather Your Party. Okay, here's a question for you. Do we cleave that board? Do we get rid of those 2 minions? I think we do. If he doesn't have a board, he can't hit us in the face with any minions. Means we survive a bit longer, buy ourselves a bit more time.
They will never catch me.
Because in the late game, once our big threats start coming down, he won't be able to compete with them. His big threats can't compete with my big threats. Especially when my big threats can value trade into his big threats.
Blade Fist has no battle. Do your worst.
Hey, Kargath Blade Fist. Nice value trade. And killing that, if he makes the choice to kill it, must make him feel so uncomfortable knowing what he is shuffling into my deck.
Astonishing.
That's some good card draw there.
I grow impatient. Greetings.
I'm making this Demon Hunter think about his plays. That's good news.
I have more to give.
Yeah. He was thinking about, do I kill that? Should I kill that? Okay. Let's do it. That's not bad. It can't go face, but it can kill things. And now, one turn after another,
Gold in the shadows.
our threats, our big threats, are coming down. And on turn 6, for us, look at our health total. Very healthy still. He's done hardly any damage. This bodes well.
Astonishing.
And he's trading. Oh, Deck Tracker, it's back. He's trading. He feels so threatened by that minion.
Drink your blood. Eat your flesh, you fiend.
Even after it was frozen, he feels so threatened by it. Ah, yeah, the Supreme Abyssal. Good stats. Wait, if I silence that, does it mean it can attack face?
Without eyes truly see.
Interesting question. Will he continue that strategy of throwing things into my Abyssal? Yep, continues the strategy.
Serve your master.
Wow. So, that Supreme Abyssal has eaten up so many of his resources without us even trying. It's all been him, his initiative,
Astonishing.
and that's brilliant.
I will have high vengeance.
Yep, here's the Prime. Time for 10 armor. Okay, he's never killing us. He is never ever killing us. So if there is something that you really need to remove from the board, it's that card there. You need to kill it. Otherwise, I'm getting 10 armor.
Gold in the shadows.
No, freezing it is not killing it. Are you going to attack that with your face? Sure. Okay, so we can protect our prime here. Question is, what do we use? I'm going to use the Devil's Saw. And not Ziliax. The reason I'm using the Devil's Saw is because it's a bigger minion.
Do you see what must be done?
If he wants to face tank that, he is welcome to face tank 7 attack. Oh wow. Is he going to clear the board here? Oh, don't kill my pride. Please don't do that. I want 10 more armor. Okay. Sure. Big resource investment, though, to make it happen. How much damage is that now going to be? 8 to our face? 8 to our face. And we're split 27. Feels amazing. Okay. Dimensional Ripper was a possibility. But I'm playing Ziliax. Just to clear that minion. I think that's worth doing. Now he'll see Ziliax on the board and say, oh, that's not a big minion.
They will never catch me.
So we may give him a false sense of hope and security here. He may think he's safe.
My blades will sing.
Just seeing Ziliax on the board. Ugh. Oh, that's a powerful card. So, do we need to get rid of it? I think we do. Again, not taking any chances. We will delay putting a big threat onto the board, just so we can execute that. Okay, next turn will be Dimensional Ripper. Alright, what do we get? Oh, okay. 2 taunts. That means that our face is never being hit ever again. I can see the damage potential here from Demon Hunter. The damage potential is massive. These swings with the weapon are big. But thankfully we have minions in the way. So he can't get to our face. That is game over. For sure. That is game over. For sure. Does Demon Hunter run a mass board clear of any kind? I mean, even if they do, we've got a Death Rattle minion on board, we'll just put another threat onto the board. Time to concede? Okay. Dying the honourable way. Okay. So, there we go. A really sweet win against a Demon Hunter. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tbranson1's Recruit Warrior. If you have the cards, I would strongly consider giving this deck a go. Read the guide first on Hearthstone. I think it goes into a little bit more detail than what I have provided with you at the start of this video. And have fun with it. You know, really have fun with this deck. Nobody else is playing Recruit Warrior on the ladder at the moment, so it would certainly come as a surprise to some of your opponents to have to face this deck. If you don't have the legendaries that are in this deck, but you have some dust available, you may ask me, as I get asked this a lot, is it worth me crafting those legendaries to make this deck? To that I would say, think very, very carefully. Because once you've crafted the legendaries in this deck, or the more expensive cards, that's your dust spent. And, you know, you're not getting that dust back. So think very, very carefully. Yes, there are a lot of expensive cards in the deck, but if you don't have them, you could look at your collection and you may find some cards that are perfectly acceptable as substitutes. Yeah, so please don't come back to me or the deck author and say, oh, I watched your video and the deck looked really, really good, so I crafted loads of legendaries and then I lost 10 games. Now I want my dust back. Yeah, think carefully before you craft anything expensive. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A big thanks to tbranson1 for the deck. If you've got any questions about the deck and how to play it, post your questions in the comments section below and I will ask tbranson1 to reply and answer your questions, because clearly he has played this deck a lot more than I have and is much more of an expert than me. So I will see you all again very soon, as always, for more Wild Mode fun.